Hello and welcome to this episode of BarbaKnitStories. My name is Linda and I'm talking to you from Reykjavik, Iceland. You can find show notes and contact info in the description box down below this video. So, it's been a while. I did a quick tutorial on how I do my garter heel flap and gusset for my socks that I make. This is kind of like my go-to heel that I usually always do because I think it's nice, it holds up really well, it's easy, it's quick, and it's my favorite type of heel, so check that out if you want to. Today I don't have a lot of finishes, I just have one finish that I can show. I actually have another finish, but it's still a secret because it was a sample knit that I did for Stephen, and it's a pattern that hasn't been released yet, so I will show it to you when it comes out. I'm gonna record a little video so that I can insert it in my next podcast. The finish that I have today is this pair of socks that I used for my tutorial video. I don't remember the name of the dyer. This was yarn that I got from my friend Carly in the UK. She had a D-stash about a year ago or so. And I bought a few skeins from her and she sent me some extras as well. And this was one of the ones that I got. It was labeled, I lost the ball band a while ago. So I'm not sure who the dyer is, but these are the socks. So these are 64 stitches on 2.25 millimeter needles. I always do DPMs because that's how I like to do my socks. And like I said, they have the garter stitch heel flap and gusset that I really like doing. Yeah, and I put in different colors for heels and toes on both socks, and they're all different. They're all scraps. This one here is from Regia. This one is also from Regia, and this one and the orange one on the toe are from Vivid Wool, from one of the advent calendars that she had. And my sock bloggers are from Hex Dye Works here in Iceland. And they look like this. I really like these. So yeah, that's the only finish that I have for you this time around. But I wanted to show you the sweater that I'm wearing. If you've been following my podcast, you probably recognize this sweater. This is the Ingalls sweater by Caitlin Hunter of Brilliant Knitworks. I made this sweater for my sister about a year and a half ago when she was in hospital with baby Eric. And I just got it back. After my sister passed, it was put into storage. I really wanted it back because it has immense sentimental value to me. And it fits me really well, and it fits my daughter, Caritas, also. So we are thinking about just using it between us. So I love this sweater, especially because it used to belong to my sister. I'm going to show you a little bit of the details. It has this beautiful yoke pattern. And the yarn that I used is DK weight that I had specifically dyed for this sweater. My sister wanted like a neutral grayish brown. And she sent me a few images of the color that she wanted, and I contacted my friend Hafdis that owns Vivid Wool and sent her the photos and asked her to dye this yarn for this sweater. And then the white is just undyed DK weight held together with a thread of white mohair. I don't know if you can see, look, there's a little bit of fluff. And I love it. I think it's amazing, and I'm very happy to have it back. It comforts me in some way, and I wear it with pride. So yeah, that's what I have. I have quite a few whips. I've been working on a lot of different projects, so I'm just gonna grab them and show them to you. I'm gonna start with the smallest project that I have on the needles at the moment. After I finished the pair of socks, I started another pair of socks because I like to have socks on the go, because I knit on my coffee break at the office, I knit on the bus, and like if I have to wait somewhere, I like to have a sock project in my bag that I can just grab and, do a little sneak knitting here and there. So yeah, new pair of socks. They look like this. I did a contrast for the cuff, and I'm gonna do this color for the heel and toe as well, but I'm thinking about using like a hot pink or neon green or something as well, like for either heel or toe on the socks. So these are for me, so it's 60 stitches on 225. And the yarn that I'm using, this is the gray from Regia that I'm using for the cuff. It's just the basic gray from Regia. And then this is the main color. This is Hedgehog Fibres in the colorway Oracle on the sock base. Not the sock, the twist sock, I think. It's plied and it has more nylon content than their sock base. And this is in my favorite sock bag that my friend Emilia gifted to me at Edinburgh Yarn Festival in 2019. It has these cute little kittens, and this is the perfect on-the-go sock bag. I've also been knitting on my Azor sweater. I've done a little bit of the body, but I had to put this aside when I got the special project from Steven. So I finished the yoke and I'm just working my way down to the body. I don't know, I think I've done like maybe 10 centimeters of the body. Not much more than that. This is gonna be stunning. I love it. So beautiful. And I gussed about the yarn when I recorded last. This is the main color. It's La Bien-Aimée Cashmerino. 75% merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And the color is Paon. P-A-O-N. This is the main color. And the contrasting color is same base but rust. The next project that I wanted to show you is the circus sweater. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. The circus sweater that I'm doing for my son. I love this project. It's so addictive and it's so fun, and I just love playing with all the colors in it. I have not woven in any ends, but I finished the body, and the body looks like this. It is so much fun. So this is the body of the sweater, and I have also completed one sleeve, or I think I'm done. The sleeve fits me, but I asked my son how long he wanted his sleeves, so I'm just waiting for that info, and then I can do it to the length. The pattern says that you should knit it to, I think, 50 centimeters for the size that I'm doing, and that's quite long, and my son is not that big, so I don't want it to be hanging from his hands. So I think the length is okay. Maybe I will add 2 or 3 centimeters to it, but yeah, I think the length is almost there. And as you can see, I'm just using all the colors, and I love working on this. It's so much fun, and it's bringing me a lot of joy, and I think my son is gonna love it. As you may have noticed, nothing really matches. It's all just, and the other sleeve is not gonna match either. Everything is random. I just pick and choose colors as I feel. What goes together. Sometimes I don't even think it goes together. I just want to use them together. So this is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm hoping that I can finish this before June 14th, because that's my son's birthday. I hope I can. I mean, this sleeve only took me an evening and a half or something. It really didn't take me that long. I'm doing this on 3.75 millimeter needles, and I'm gonna put this down. I'm using West Wool and Undercover Otter. All the colors. I don't have the color names. It's just all the colors. All of these are just leftovers that Stephen brought me. And I can't thank him enough for giving me all this yarn to make this amazing sweater. It's so much fun. And all of this is living in this massive, beautiful, amazing project bag that was also custom made for me by my sweet friend Amelia, who did the project bag that my socks are living in as well. She gave me this just because she wanted to, and it's amazing. It's so big, it holds everything. Here it is next to my head, so you can see how big it is. It's beautiful, and I love the fabric. This is her label. She's on Etsy if you're interested in her bags, and the lining fabric is beautiful. It has pockets. It has this D-ring on the inside. It has some pockets here. You can see a needle here. And it's so well made, like everything that she does. So, yeah, loving this. Oh, I really like this detail, on the hanger here. Look on the inside. How beautiful! It's just all full of these beautiful, cute little details. And then, yesterday was Sunday, and usually I try to work on my Scrappy projects on Sundays, and I did a lot on a new blanket that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But then in the evening I was kind of tired of doing the blanket, so I started a new project. Probably should knit on all the other projects that I have on the go, but I wanted to treat myself, so I did. This is the Bellis Tea by Laka of the Fiber Tales podcast. It's a beautiful, simple, very plain cropped t-shirt, basically. I am using yarn from Camaros called Ökologisk Sommerull, and the colorway is Mellemgrå, which is medium gray, 2006. Just this neutral, not too dark gray. And this is 70% organic merino wool and 30% organic cotton. It's a beautiful yarn. It's really nice to work with, and I think because of the cotton content it's gonna hold up really well, not stretch, and also just be a little bit more cool than 100% merino wool. But it is, yeah, I've wanted to use this yarn for a while. No, I haven't done much. I've only done basically the start of the project, and I'm now in the process of doing the folded hem. This is the front, and here is the back. And I wanted to show you, most patterns that have a folded hem, they usually just tell you to pick up stitches X number of rows down from where you are, or pick up from the cast on edge. I always find it really fiddly to pick up from the cast on edge. So what I do, or from like any row, so what I usually do is, I'm gonna try to show this to you so it's okay. What I do is I thread a needle, preferably a little bit smaller than the needle that I'm working with. These are my working needles. These are 3mm needles. The ones that I used for picking up are 275 because it was just next to me, and you know, you can go down to like 2.5 or 2, or you know, you can go down quite a lot just to pick up the cast on edge. So then when I'm doing the folded hem, I can just knit the two stitches together, both from a needle, and I think that goes faster, and it's just easier to keep track of where you are and what you've done. So that's what I like to do when the pattern tells me to do a folded hem. And you can use this for any pattern. But yeah, Bellis Tea in a cute project bag that Stephen gave to me. I think he got this at Rhinebeck. What does it say? Earl Grey Fiber Co. Very cute. I really like the colors in this one. It has this kind of like cork or fake cork. I don't know if it's real, but like it looks like cork and it kind of feels like it as well. It's really nice. The bottom. I started another Scrappy blanket. I actually started 2 new Scrappy blankets because I have a lot of scraps and I just want to use them up. This is the Granny Stripe blanket, also by Lucy of Attic 24. This is So fun to make. And I did, or I have done, magic balls, magic cakes, magic nut ball cakes, something that I'm just using. I'm using up a lot of mini skeins, a lot of scraps from different types of projects. Here's one that I'm working from currently. And then I have made these 3. And I still have some leftovers that I can use for this blanket. I was thinking, because this is extremely white, it kind of turned out more white than I wanted it to. I can barely, ooh, well, maybe it's fine. It kind of depends on how much scraps I have, how long and wide it's gonna be. But I was kind of thinking that maybe this should be like, it's supposed to turn like this, but maybe I should just have, because it's so long that, like, if I put it down on the floor, yeah, it's as tall as me. So I'm 166. So that is basically the width, but maybe I should make it the length. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna weigh it and do some calculations and see how much yarn it would take to make it like at least 180 or 2 meters long. If that's like the impossible project, I'll probably flip it and just make it, 160, make it like a meter or 120 centimeters wide. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this project. I'm just gonna crochet on it until the end of time or something. No, I don't know. I'm having fun with it. It's a lot of fun, and I decided pretty early on that it's gonna end up being a project, like a gift for my mom, because I don't know, I need to make something for her, and she is very, very make worthy. She is very talented in sewing, and she's always making stuff for other people. So I kind of want to surprise her and give her like a big, beautiful blanket that she can just wrap herself in and feel all the love that I've put into it. And the last project that I wanted to show to you today is, yes, another blanket. During our social distancing and self-isolation weeks, I had this urge to just organize and clean out stuff and purge a little bit. I have a lot of leftover yaku, because that's kind of like my go-to fingering weight in the solid, beautiful color palette that they have. I've talked about yaku quite a lot in many episodes, so I won't go super into it, but I have a lot of leftovers. And a while ago I had this design idea in my head that never became anything, and some of the ladies in my knit group gave me their Yaku leftovers as well. And I was going through a closet. Excuse me. I was going through like my cabinets and stuff, and I found this big bag of Yaku, and I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot that I had it even. And I messaged my friends and I was like, do you guys want this bag? I'm not going to use it. And they were like, I mean, if you're not going to use it, you know, maybe, but can't you make something with it? And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to make a blanket for my grandfather and his wife. They have like a cabin, a summer house, about an hour away from Reykjavik that we sometimes go to and spend time in. And we're going there in June. And my grandfather's birthday is in June as well. And my grandfather loves it when I make him stuff. I knitted him a lopapeysa when he turned 80. He's going to turn 87 this year. And he was so happy. He cried when I gave it to him. And like every time I talk to him, he always talks about the lopapeysa. He's always like, oh, I put on the lopapeysa and it's so nice and blah, blah, blah. And he's just, oh, I love my grandpa. He's amazing. So I wanted to make something for them. So what I did was I pulled out all the Yaku that I had. Some of them were just like tiny balls, some of them were huge, some of them were basically untouched. And I divided them into two piles, one with color and one with just white, grey and black. And then I weighed what I had of the colors and I weighed what I had of the neutrals. And I decided to make magic balls with the colors in rainbow order, and then hold two strands together and make a corner to corner garter stitch blanket for as big as I could using all the scraps. So that's exactly what I did. I have finished the first 2 balls of magic cakes. I'm now working, well, I'm almost done with the first 2. This is the second and I only have this yellow. And then it's gonna merge into green, from light to dark, like yellow, light green, and then the darker greens. And then from the dark green to dark blue and all the way down to this pale blue. So I'm almost halfway there with the blanket. And this is what it looks like. I'm using the neutrals, the white, black and grays, just randomly. I'm not thinking about it, I just pick up, you know, they're in different sizes and yeah, I just pick up whatever and use however much I want to use of it and just go. So, this is what it looks like now. Ooh. This is my cast on. I cast on 4 stitches. So it went from this brown to this brown to this brown and kind of brownish yellow to a more pale brown to a pale pink to a more antique pink to a burgundy to a red and 2 colors of orange, and now I'm working on the yellow. and it is now this wide. It's almost my wingspan. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really nice. I really like it, and it's a super easy pattern. I think it's called Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth, and of course this is not a dishcloth, but I figured you can make a blanket. It's just a square, you know, and you can make it as big as you want. So you cast on, it's a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away. You cast on 4 stitches, you knit 2, yarn over and knit to end. Turn, knit 2, yarn over, knit to end. And you just keep going like that until you have the width that you want. And then you start decreasing back. So it's basically you're knitting like this and then like this. So it's going to be a square. So yeah, and it gives you like this cute, a little border with, you know, just like knit 2 and then these yarn overs here. And yeah, I'm super happy with this. It's totally like, this is kind of like my go-to project when I have no brain capacity left. This is what I knit on because it's so intuitive. Just like you just knit and you can binge TV shows or something. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this is turning out. And it's about, I think it's about 900 grams to a kilo of yarn that I'm gonna be clearing out with this project. So I'm super happy with that. Yes! And that's all I have for knitting and crochet. I wanted to show you one thing. If you're following me on Instagram, you might have seen that I did a project bag for a blanket project because I can't leave yarn out anywhere because my cat gets into it. He loves yarn and he wants to eat it and like throw it all over the apartment, so I have to put everything into project bags and nothing can be out because he will destroy it. And I have a lot of project bags, as you might have noticed. Yeah, it's kind of a problem. Anyway, I didn't have anything like massive. So I would have had to use at least 2 or 3 project bags for this blanket project. And I just want to have everything in one place. So I'm not a sewing expert at all. I've kind of always struggled using a sewing machine, but my mom gave me her old machine and I've always wanted to be able to sew basic stuff and like fix things and shorten pants and like minor repairs and stuff and just make simple things. It doesn't have to be something extravagant, you know. So I made a project bag. It's massive. It's so big. It's crazy, but it fits everything and the blanket. The inside looks like this. It has this drawstring. Both of these fabrics came from my friend Chantal. When she was moving away from Iceland, she left some crafting supplies, both yarn and fabrics, and she said that I could just use it. So I did. I love this fabric. It's beautiful. I did use a tutorial when I made this. I found one on YouTube and I will try to find it again and link it down below. It was trial and error for me because, like I said, I'm not very good at sewing, but it turned out fine. I'm pretty pleased with myself, and I do plan on making more like this thing is living in 3 different project bags, and it's just too much. I want everything at the same, in one of these. So I have some fabrics. Actually, I have embarrassingly, an embarrassing amount of fabric because I don't really sew. I don't know. I just kind of like hoarded fabric, it seems. So I am gonna make more of these. Maybe not exactly like this one, but I kind of like this one. It's really nice. And it fits everything. And it does its job. It doesn't really have to be super fancy or have like pockets or interfacing or anything. It's just for a huge project. And it just needs to hold the stuff and close so the cat doesn't get into it. It's pretty basic, and yeah, I love it. So, I think that's all I have for this episode. Yeah, I cleaned out this room. This is the extra room that I have here in this apartment. It once was my bedroom, but it's tiny. It's very small. So when my son moved out, I moved into his bedroom, and Caritas she has been in the big bedroom for a while. I moved into my son's bedroom, and this became basically like a storage junk room, You just throw stuff in there and it stays there forever. But I cleaned it out during the COVID mess because I needed a space to work from home. So this became that space. And it's also been Steven's yarn room, basically. He has a lot of stuff here at my place because he usually stays here when he comes to Iceland. And we have some yarn for projects and yarn that we give to knitters that are doing samples and tests and stuff for us. So yeah, I got like a shelving unit. My friend Rosa was getting rid of this old, we call it skatthol. I don't know the name. It's like a beauty table desk kind of thing. So I cleaned it out and I had like my laptop and an extra computer screen here when I was working from home, but now I'm back at the office. So now this has become like a craft room. Slowly coming together, but I think it's going to be a nice space. I mean, it's a small room, but I have a window here and I have a window here. So it doesn't really get dark in here, except in winter, but the daylight in here is pretty nice. And yeah, I've just been slowly organizing, throwing out stuff, and just making this into a space that I can use. And I tried yesterday to put my sewing machine here, and that's fine. I have enough space to sew. I was thinking about getting like a big, it's not big, it's like a shelving unit with a fold-out table from IKEA. But I think it would take up like half of the room because this room is small. It's tiny. So I think it's gonna like swallow the room. And I really like this. I kind of like these old furniture, wooden furnitures. I think they're beautiful. So I think I'm just gonna use this, at least for the time being. I mean, I don't really sew that much anyway. I can cut fabric and do patterns and stuff, like what do you call it? Pattern cutouts, and like cut out the fabric pieces on my dining room table, because that's a table that I can enlarge. So I can use that for cutting out stuff, and then I can just come in here and sew. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think that's all I have for you today. So I hope you are doing okay. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Not only COVID-19, but the insane injustice that's happening to people of color in this world is heartbreaking. It makes me furious, and I will have no part in this. Like I posted in my Instagram stories over the weekend, I absolutely know that I am white. I absolutely know that I have privilege, and I absolutely know that I have racist thoughts, and the journey towards equality starts with you. Nobody is born a racist. Racism is something that you learn, and racism is something very, very, very deep rooted in every single culture. And the change starts with you and with us, and we have to do better. We just have to. Do your thing. It's going to benefit you and everybody around you. And I will see you next time.